So the final lesson I have learned, and honestly, it feels like the most important lesson. It feels like the lesson I should be like, this is the lesson. This third lesson. Oh, please. The third lesson will shock you. I should put this in the intro. You see, the third lesson will shock you. Hi guys, welcome to Thriving Nuggets YouTube channel. This is a channel where I share nuggets here and there to help you thrive in your career as a lawyer, as an advocate, or whether you're in law school or are thinking of going to law school, or you're curious just about what being a lawyer and advocate entails, but also more generally in your career. If you're not a lawyer, there are certain topics that I'm going to be sharing that are geared towards someone who's just wants to thrive in their career. Full stop. They're not a lawyer, they're not planning to be one. I'm also going to be sharing a few things here and there in some of the episodes. And if you want to thrive in your personal development, this is the place. Welcome to Thriving Nuggets YouTube channel with me, Anne Njoroge, and welcome to this new video. This is a YouTube video that I thought I would actually have done last year. Actually, I would have done it last year if I was online, because on the 12th of May 2022, I got admitted to the bar as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya and all other courts in Kenya. And I shared quite a few of videos. I think I shared maybe one video of the day of admission and maybe the preparation towards admission. There are videos there, and I'm going to be putting cards here. You can go ahead and watch my admission to the bar. And that was like a culmination to me sharing a lot of content on being in law school or being at the Kenya School of Law, doing pupillage and all those things. And then this great moment of being admitted to the bar. Honestly, it's one of the most beautiful days or one of the most beautiful days in a law career, because it's a culmination of a lot of effort, of a lot of discipline that has gone into you getting that title. And that's why it's such a great moment. And I can go on and on about it, but the reason for this video is to share 3 lessons I have learned now, 2 years post-admission to the bar. I got admitted in 2022, and this Sunday, and if you're seeing this on the material date, it will be like last Sunday, or the 12th of May, really. This Sunday, I am going to be turning 2 years post-admission to the bar, and I am excited and I'm happy, and I thank God. Thank God for keeping me, for all that He has enabled me to do within the 2 years, what He has enabled me to achieve. And I'm so grateful even to be here to share this. Last year I would have shared 1 lesson that I've learned in my 1 year post-admission to the bar. And this year I would have shared 2. Not because I didn't share last year, we're having 3 lessons, okay? The next year we'll be back to having 3 lessons, because it will be 3 years post-admission to the bar. So the very first lesson, I have written them down and put pointers so that I don't forget some of these things, because they are such valuable lessons. It's that time does fly. Time will fly. Honestly, thinking about it, I'm like, 2 years, was it not the other day that I got admitted to the bar? It's wild. And I remember when I was doing my pupillage, one of the advocates, she was actually like in the conveyancing real estate department. I don't know what conversation we were having with her, and she was like, guys, like you just sit here and you are shocked. You're now 5 years post-admission, you're now 10 years, and you wonder where time went. And that's true. Time really does fly. I don't know if, especially those who got admitted around the same time, I don't know if you can attest to that. Even those who were admitted before, I know you can attest to the fact that time does really fly. And because time really does fly, I think it's really, and it's something I had discussed with a colleague of mine who we got admitted around the same time. It was because time really does fly. You can sit in a place, for instance, maybe you are in a job post-admission to the bar, but like, this is not my end goal, this is not what I desire to do. And you keep on saying that, I'm going to wait until I'm still young, it's still a year. And sometimes if you're not really intentional to working towards who you want to become, the kind of brand you want to embody post admission to the bar, the kind of lawyer that you want to be, the kind of path, trajectory you want to take in your legal career, you will be shocked how much time will fly, and you will be you will just be shocked that it's 2 years post admission to the bar and I'm still singing the same song of I want to take this trajectory, I want to pivot, I want to move here, because time really does fly. And because of that, I think one thing I have learned, even seeing some of my colleagues, some of my friends who have taken such very bold moves and bold steps, is that do not be afraid to get on and work on your brand. Because one thing that happens is, when you're in pupillage, you're under like a master, you're under advocates. So whether you write, whether you write your pleadings, I don't know, whatever, the advocate will take the blunt of it, because they're the ones who are admitted to the role of advocates. But now when you go post admission to the bar, it's you, it's your brand, it's how you even determine. I remember one of the advocates, when I was doing people telling me that you will determine even your font, you will determine the style that you write. But when you're in pupillage, you have to, when you're thinking about this advocate, you have to think, how does this advocate like the pleadings to look like? And then you make them look like that, because that's their style. But now post admission to the bar, you are now getting your own style of doing things. Even if you're not like working in a law firm, you're getting your own brand, you're building your own brand as a person, solely as you. And honestly, the realization of that, and the realization of the fact that time flies, it has really made me know that whether I'm 1 year post admission or 2 years post admission, not to limit myself with what I can achieve and with going for what I want to do, because I'm feeling like, okay, I'm still like 3 years. Please just go for what you want to go for. Because if you stay in that comfort zone where it's a comfort zone, but that's not where you want to be, and you're relishing in the comfort, you may end up being shocked that it's already 5 years. Honestly, that's one lesson that I have learned, and it has really pushed me towards being very intentional about working towards what I would like to be, what the kind of brand I want to embody of me and my work, and my niche, my trajectory of life. And honestly, that's like the number one lesson I have learned. And I've talked about this lesson for 8 minutes. Oh my god. But it's so important. Time does fly. The second thing that I learned is that getting admitted to the bar is not a destination. There's this thing of in Kenya School of Law, and all you're looking forward to is getting admitted to the bar. Then you get admitted to the bar and you realize, oh my god, there's more we need to think about. I remember I was talking with a friend of mine, and we were like, just that period when you got admitted to the bar, it's like, oh my god, the learning, the working doesn't stop because you've been admitted to the bar. You get admitted to the bar and now you're thinking about, okay, this is the first time I'm not like it's not being dictated to me that, okay, this is the semester, this is what you do. Like you feel like there's a feeling of like, now you're on your own to charter a path for yourself, to charter the trajectory of your life for yourself. And then you realize, oh my god, it wasn't a destination. It was just a process towards, the next thing and the next thing. And I think it's the nature of life. It's the nature of life that sometimes we're like, oh my god, I can't wait to finish school. Then you get into the workspace and there's a whole new learning that you need to embrace and take. And because of that realization, and because of knowing that it's not a destination, one of the things that I have grown to be more intentional about is to enjoy the process. So see, when you were getting admitted to the bar, people were doing all sorts of things. I mean, I went, got my makeup done, I had like a whole photo shoot planned out. I did all those things, and I'm glad and happy that I was able to do that. So as you're getting admitted to the bar, if you're able to do whatever you're able to do to celebrate that moment, don't let those people who say, there are people who are saying like, okay, you'll get admitted, and then like, it will be nothing. It may be nothing to them right now because it's 10 years post the admission to the bar, but for you, that's an achievement. So enjoy it, enjoy the process. But at the back of the mind, remembering that it's not a destination. And because it's not a destination, even the next thing that you're thinking, oh my god, I want to get this kind of job, it will still not be a destination, because that's the nature of life. There's always the next thing. And so that you're not caught up in like, oh my God, the next thing syndrome, the next thing. Enjoy that moment. Is it that moment of figuring things out for yourself? Just enjoy that moment. Even in as much as it may not be, 100% enjoyable, but live in that moment, soak in that moment. Don't be in the admission and you're thinking, okay, I'm celebrating, but my God, I want to be the next big shot lawyer, so what can I do, and all that. In that moment, enjoy it, soak in the moment, soak in every single moment, live in the now. But at the same time, knowing that that's not the destination. Don't just then get admitted to the bar and then you go into the mundane without thinking about, am I living fully? Am I exercising my potential to my very full self? So even after enjoying, think about how you can now go into the next process of building your own personal brand, which is so important. And even as I complete that part, I think one of the things to learn is that I think in life, it's just to learn to live in the now. Yeah, I'll just say that, learn to live in the now. The final lesson I have learned, and honestly, it feels like the most important lesson. It feels like the lesson I should be like, this is the lesson. This third lesson. Oh, please. The third lesson will shock you. I should put this in the intro. You see, the third lesson will shock you. And the third lesson is run your own race. Here's the thing. When you get to law school, all of you are aiming towards what? You're aiming towards, not all of us, but you're aiming towards graduating. It doesn't matter whatever class you want to graduate in, whether it's a first class or not. You're aiming to graduate. Then after graduation, there's the whole thing, getting 9Ps, getting admitted to the bar. When you finish that, you're sort of outside the school system, as sort of like a linear way of doing things, and you're opened to the world of possibilities. That's how I choose to look at it, like the world of possibilities. And I remember there's a lady, when I did my clinical externship, the organization I did my clinical externship, she told me one day when she was driving, we were driving to a meeting, and she told me, and one thing I have learned, like in your legal career, so she's also a lawyer, but she didn't like go to the KSL. She told me, you need to work so hard to sabotage yourself or not to succeed. And that has made me take the approach of looking at all these options that exist as a lawyer, as the world of possibilities. So there's so many options that are there when you're a lawyer. There are options in the judiciary, there are options in the corporate world, there are options in the NGO world, in the development sector. There's so many options that are there. But if you do not run your own race, you may end up falling in the trap of doing something because you think this is the conventional way and you don't want to be unconventional at all. And one thing I would say, be unconventional. Go and be unconventional. As long as it aligns with who you enjoy to be, because you spend a lot of time at work. So working towards that area that you want to go to, whether everyone is doing it or whether no one is doing it, go for that. Run your own race. And there's a lot of comparison that may come. There are people who finish and they had like a whole fund set up and they start their law firms. And you may not be in that position. Maybe for you need to be in a law firm job, save up to get that, and save up to build networks, because they're not being handed over to you. And even for those who are being handed over, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a privilege that they should actually be grateful for, and it's totally okay. But running your own race is so important. It is so important, especially in a profession that traditionally looked a certain way. And so there's that trap of like, I have to go this traditional route. They have said I have to spend 5 years in this setup so that I can. Please, run your own race. Run your own race. If there's one thing I would tell anyone getting admitted to the bar is run your own race. Let not you looking at someone else's story, someone else's trajectory rob you of the marvel of your own story. Because if you look at your own story, your own career story, even for those who are celebrating 2 years or whatever years, if you look at it, there's so many things to marvel about. There's so many things to be grateful about. But because we are benchmarking ourselves with others, people's trajectories who have different talents, who have different callings, different set of purposes, we then rob ourselves the marvel of our story. And that's one thing that I would love you not to do. Do not fail to marvel about your own story, your own career story that you're creating. And as long as it's true to yourself, as long as it's aligned to, if you believe in God, if it's aligned to, what God is saying about your life in that particular season, do it. Just do it, and don't let anything, be it the standards that have been placed, be it things that have been said that you need to be doing at a certain time, determine how you move on with the trajectory of your life. So yeah, that's it for me. From me. I am excited, honestly, to see what this second year, is it the second year? Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, this going into the third year looks like. And I cannot wait to see what lessons will be there next year. But yeah, those are the top 3 lessons that I have learned 2 years post admission to the bar. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and to subscribe. If there's someone you think would benefit from this particular video, be sure to share this video and leave a comment down below in case you have any lesson that you have learned or lesson that has resonated with you. I'd really love to interact with you in the comment section. Other than that, thank you so much. See you on the next video.